Backstage once again, Country Calling with the wonderful. He's back in the UK, everyone. It's Jordan Harvey.
Thank you very much. There's no round of applause, but I'll take it. Thank you.
Okay,
thank you. Cheers.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Jordan, you've been back because you actually live over in the States now, right?
I do, yeah.
I've seen, like, not that I'm some kind of stalker, but on your socials, you've been back, you've been doing bits. How long have you been here? What have you been up to? How long are you staying here for?
So, funny you ask. So, basically, the last 2 years of my life, I have not been back in the UK because I got married 2 years ago, and then I had a little tour in the UK. No, actually, I didn't in the UK. I had a little tour in the US, and then as soon as I came off that, my missus and I applied for my green card.
Okay.
The problem with applying for a green card is you cannot leave the country. So I took that time as a time of absence, which was great. So I took the time to write a lot of records. I took the time to spend time with my family. I took the time to spend time with my dog that my wife and I rescued, and just took time for myself. It's the first time I've taken time for myself since probably COVID. Yeah. But out of that, I've written truly the best records I think I've ever written that I'm going to start releasing again. I have been quite quiet on, social media and stuff like that, just whilst I took time for my family. But as of last week, we just released a song yesterday, and it's been the best streaming day I've ever had so far, which is crazy. Especially now that I've gone independent, which is a huge thing that many artists are doing these days.
Yes.
And I was very scared to do it, but it looks like it might be the right thing to do.
A lot of that been down to Craig, because Craig was a big fan of that song that came out yesterday, and he was like, guys, have you listened to this? So
thank you, mate. What an absolute legend. Well, yeah, for some reason I think it still comes down to good music and telling a story, and there's such a line for me as an artist with being Scottish and living in Nashville, as you mentioned. I have to be authentic to both sides of the pond.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to be one of those guys that walks into Nashville with the boots on and the hat. I mean, I envy people that can do it and pull it off, but as you see, I like to wear tracksuits. It's just what I grew up doing. Played football,
Yeah.
And I just want to be authentic to myself.
Yeah.
So lyrically, the content of my music is definitely storytelling, and that can be taken from Scottish folk and country music, from living there. And then on the production side, it's artists that I've grown up listening to, like Simple Minds and Bryan Adams, and music of the 80s, which has just inspired me relentlessly.
Talking about taking that leap as an independent artist, how did you kind of approach it? Because there's so many artists who do it differently, but how did you kind of jump into it, and what was kind of your first thing, right, this is what I'm going to do, this is how I'm going to do it?
This is a true story, and I'll tell it as quickly as I can. So it was 2023, we'd just come off the single for Along for the Ride. I'm not going to disclose it just now because I'm going to actually speak about it next year when I release a record, but I had some health complications and I wanted to take a little time for myself to figure it out. My wife and I had to, figure out how we were going to navigate it, and we're all good now, which is great. We're in the clear.
Good.
Which is awesome. But it gave me time to put life into perspective. It's crazy. Someone once told me that you've got so much to think about, but when your health goes, you think of one thing, which is wild, right? So I went into the record company that I was signed to at the time, and the head of that record company is one of the best humans. I mean, there's so many unbelievable people that work at that label, but specifically him, I went and had a conversation with him, and I just said, look, I'd been there since 2020, or actually 2018, because of my years with King Calloway and then on to being a solo artist. And I said, look, I need to take time for myself to figure out my health, and I want to pay you the respect that you've paid me. I said, there's a lot of kids in this town that have come here with guitars on their back chasing a dream, and I said, I want to give up my spot to someone else that's in Nashville, because that was me once upon a time, and just let me go and figure out what it is I want to do, and then once I get my health straight, we'll figure out how that's going to go. And we shed a tear. He gave me a big hug, and he said, if you ever want to come back, the door's open. Started writing music, realised that I just wanted to kind of start to carve my own lane, so I teamed up with the Orchard, and we've started a record label together with a company that I have now called JFDI. I won't tell you what it means, but you curse. And it's a label that Orchard and I have started together. And I'm super excited about it. It's the first release yesterday with Hearts on Fire on it, EP coming in October, and it's really this hybrid record, which I think artists are a little afraid to do, where there's a couple of tracks on it that are just straight pop records.
Okay.
And then there's some tracks on the record that you're like, that's a country song. So it's kind of like Along for the Ride meets How Pop Could I Go? It blends both worlds together.
We love that.
And so I last spoke to you at C2C last year, and you were sort of saying, like, there's new stuff coming, you're really excited, and that's more kind of your sound.
Yeah.
Are you really happy with where things are at now?
Absolutely. It's crazy, because I think that Hearts on Fire is such a great beginning for me.
Yeah.
I can't lie that artists that I grew up listening to was, you know, like I'd mentioned Simple Minds, but like Phil Collins is, and then it stretches right across to like Bruce Springsteen, and then more modern artists like I love the music of like Sam Fender, but culturally what he's doing for Newcastle and for the north of England, lyrically, I mean, again, I kind of say that in a way, the way that he resonates with his audience is similar in a country fashion. You know, he's got die-hard fans and he's singing about certain topics, which I think is beautiful. But I think Hearts on Fire, for me, going back to what we were just saying, is a real blueprint for the sound that I want to go to. Because if you listen to Along for the Ride and you listen to Hearts on Fire, it's just pushed that extra bit more sonically. It's just got a little bit more musicianship in it. It's a little bit more on the wire, but that's kind of where I always wanted to take it.
Yeah.
But when you're playing a country radio game, especially in the States, you have to kind of toe the line a bit.
Yeah.
If I had it my way, Along for the Ride would have been more in the lane of Hearts on Fire, but you got to play the game, which is totally understandable, you know, because that's what the audience wants.
Yeah.
But now, we can kind of carve our own lane, which is really exciting.
It gets your name out there. You get that fan base that then are loyal to you, who will then follow you on this journey.
Do you know what's so funny though, which I love about the country audience, is what the label said to me when I was in America. They were basically like, if you can capture the country audience, they'll never leave you.
Yeah.
So when I made this record, my team and I sat down and we're like, okay, this is a pretty poppy record, right? I was like, yeah, it's pretty pop. So we pitched it to Apple and to Spotify and to these places as a pop rock record. And we got no pop rock support, but every country DSP supported it.
Insane.
So I've gone, okay, so the country fans are going to stick with us. Yeah. So that's it, you know, which was a beautiful sign to me, because I was a little apprehensive I want to pay diligence to country music, and although it does have a theme running through it, I didn't want to be like, this is country, you should do this, you know what I mean? And they did it off their own back. So I'm like, okay, the community's still there, and hopefully they'll stick with me as I embark on this journey, because there will be a lot more songs for me to come in the next 2 years. Some of them will be country songs, truthfully. Some of them will just be like, oh, this is a country song, I could hear this on the radio, and then some will be like, he's pushed the envelope, for sure.
Well, we're so glad that you're here, you're fit and you're healthy, and you're going to be bringing out this music.
Absolutely, I'm
very
back,
excited.
mate. I'm happy to be healthy, and it's so fun to just, you know, tonight I'm playing with, you know, 3 of my best mates on stage, and it's just such a great feeling to be back here, back in the UK, see my family, play music on my home soil. And a big plan for me and a big goal for me in the next 2 to 3 years is to actually split my time and spend so much more time here in the British community for country music and for music in general, because I just see it developing, I see it growing, and I just would love to be a part of it, because home is home, and America is wonderful, but it's not home.
Absolutely. In one word before we let you go, there's some amazing acts playing today across this weekend. If there's one of them that you would pick to be on that next record, who you want to collab with next, who are you going for?
Who would I want to do?
Lots of options.
I know. Well, I think that honestly, I think Blake is incredible.
Yeah.
I envy his talent, his voice, his musicianship, his guitar playing. I think what he's doing is kind of like a throwback a little bit to. It kind of looks like something from Led Zeppelin meets like. I mean, I'm saying he's got a little bit of Rod Stewart in him, but then again, he's got like a Creedence Clearwater Revival. So I think what I love to do with collaborations is do something that's completely polar opposite to you. So yeah, I'd say Blake. He's the man.
I love that. It's been great to see you. Congratulations.
You too, mate.
And John Harvey, everyone.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Appreciate it.